I know fasting is good, but when you fast on a long term without being strategic with your rest, with your food, and with your movement, you are actually not benefiting your body. You need to be intentional with your food, making sure that your food is balanced throughout the day. If you're that kind of a person that thrives on adrenaline during the day, and you're that kind of a person that your body is used to just eating one meal a day, and it really helps you put off the weight, when you decide to eat that one meal a day in the evening, are you actually giving yourself enough macro and micronutrient that your body needs to thrive, especially one that your body needs to be able to sleep properly? As an high achieving woman, we are sometimes during the day working on adrenaline that we forget to eat properly, and then in the evening when we decide that we want to eat a lot of food, it is just too much for our nervous system, and this doesn't allow us to sleep properly. Hello Queens, my name is Titilayo, and today we are going to talk about what to eat to support better sleep and stable energy. So this particular topic is one that I also had to research myself and make it work for me before I could teach it, and like try to see the importance of it as well, because as an high achieving woman, we are sometimes during the day working on adrenaline that we forget to eat properly, and then in the evening when we decide that we want to eat a lot of food, it is just too much for our nervous system, and this doesn't allow us to sleep properly. And sometimes when we are working a lot during the day, we feel like, oh yeah, it is good that I am absorbing my mind in other things and not thinking of food. Like eventually it will be easier for me to, eat less and reduce the amount of food that I eat throughout the day. Yes, this is good because I also did that, especially in January, whereby I reduced the food noises by absorbing my mind in the things that I was doing. Well, it doesn't mean that when it was time for me to eat or whenever I broke my fast that I do not eat appropriately. However, some women at this point would overdo it intentionally and then feed on coffee just to make themselves eat less. And since this always backfire, because it will backfire, number one, with your sleep and then your energy. And then the next day you are in that recovery to sleep and rest. And then it affects your energy, and the work that you produce is not so smooth, and is things are not just working fine for you. So this is what this video is about. So we want to be able to think about how to eat better so that we can have a good night rest or have some rest during the day, and then also be able to provide energy, get cleaner energy, let go of the old energy so that we can produce something new and have more clarity on who we want to be and what we want to have and all the experiences we want to have in this lifetime. Because without rest, my sis, the body is just going to be working on autopilot. And, when you work on autopilot, your result stays the same. So let's get to the first one. So the first thing that you need to do is to prioritize balanced meals, especially in the evening. So if you're that kind of a person that thrives on adrenaline during the day, and you're that kind of a person that your body is used to just eating one meal a day, and it's really helped you pull off the weight, I would not say, okay, stop doing that. What I would say is that, says, so when you decide to eat that one meal a day in the evening, are you actually giving yourself enough macro and micronutrient that your body needs to thrive, especially one that your body needs to be able to sleep properly? Because if you're eating one meal a day, and say, for example, your BMR is about let's say 1800 or 2000 calories, depending on your movement throughout the day. So say for example, you are always active on your feet, going from one office to another. You might not be like working out physically, but you might be like walking all the time. You don't sit down, you're always using your mind power, you are active helping people, and then you've used up quite a lot of energy during the day. At this point, your body is, maybe your body is now used to it, and your body just thinks, you know what, let's just release a tiny little bit of fat because we know we're going to get compensated in the evening, even though it might not be enough, but we'll try and figure out to make it happen. So then in the evening, you end up eating. So you're meant to eat about maybe 2000 calories. Like, I do not like to count calories, I count macronutrients. So maybe you're meant to eat about, like, for your body and the activities you've done, maybe you're meant to have about 140 gram of protein, and then maybe about 120 or even more of carbohydrates, and maybe about 60 grams of fat. And then you decide to eat that one meal in the evening that only consists of 20 gram of protein, and then only has like 100 gram of carbohydrate, and then the fat, and it's just imbalanced. Your body is gonna take it, but your body is thinking, what the heck are we doing? Now your body is like on a managing mode and survival energy. Your body does not even know how to make use of that energy, like the nutrient that's coming to you. So your body is thinking, how do we allocate these resources? It will take a couple of like hours to be able to like digest it, see what you've done, and then think about how to allocate it, what is going to work for us. Now your body is thinking, what do I need to hold on to and not let it go, because we know tomorrow she's going to repeat the cycle. So your body is just doing all of this work. There is not enough. Your body is hinting to you to eat more, but obviously you cannot eat anymore because you're full, you're not fully digested. Everything is just up in the head. There is no peace, nothing. And sis, this is where a lot of us are. And we think we're doing ourselves a favor. Then you sleep, and then sleep is not coming, it's just hanging, because your body is still doing a lot of work trying to figure out how to make use of this nature before the next day. And then even if you manage to like sleep for like 2 hours, you would wake up feeling like, oh, you've not slept. That 2 hours you slept for was just that your body had to put you to sleep so that it could digest the food. And then when you finish digesting, your body wakes you back up because your body wants more. Sis, this is a huge problem amongst our community, especially for women who are always on the go. So I would not say stop fasting. What I would say is that, if I know fasting is good, but when you fast on a long term without being strategic with your rest, with your food, and with your movement, sis, you are, after a while, you are actually not benefiting your body. You are actually not giving your body the effect of fasting. You are doing it the other way, and it would have more damage to your system than help benefit. So rather than fasting without thinking on how to logically arrange your food, your movement, and your rest, why don't you just like eat actually when you are hungry, and then intentionally do some workout, or let your movement throughout the day, if you're always physically active, be your workout. But you need to be intentional with your food, making sure that your food is balanced throughout the day. Now, one thing I would advise is that in the evening, it's always good to avoid heavy protein, especially protein like meat or maybe chicken. Chicken processes a little bit faster than meat, but meat takes a long time to process. And when you eat meat, it actually will keep you awake because it takes more time in your body to digest. So your body is not going to be feeling sleepy at that point because your body is much more active. Like protein is like, I would say it's like diesel they're burnt for a long, 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 long time. Okay, so you want to be careful like around bedtime. And what I would normally do is I will prioritize my protein towards the morning and afternoon, and then eat less of it in the evening and have a little bit more carbohydrate in the evening, because carbohydrate is very good. It actually promotes serotonin, and it actually stimulates melatonin, which is another effect of sleep. Okay, because these two main cells allow you to sleep properly. So having more carbohydrates, so I don't mean like overeat it or overdo it. Like what I would do if I don't strength train that day, I am not eating a lot of carbohydrate throughout the day. So I would minimize intentionally the amount of carbohydrate I have in the morning and afternoon, and then move it towards the evening so that I can sleep better. Not that I struggle with my sleep now, but it just like improves and help me enjoy my sleep. And then the next day I am fully rested, I am fully regulated, and my energies are renewed, my cells are renewed, my are strengthened, and I just have a beautiful day the following day. So that is what I would do. Now, I think I have spoken a lot. I've spoken about eating throughout the day. So, like, yes, I don't need to speak more about that. Another thing is that with your food, you need to, especially during nighttime, you need to choose food that are calming. So when I say like eat a little bit more carbohydrate, I'm not saying go and eat like white bread or like eat like sugary food that will actually keep you up. No, you have to choose your food wisely. So carbohydrate that I've got fiber in it are advisable. Like you can mix non-starchy carbohydrate with a little bit of a starchy carbohydrate, like sweet potato is a very good choice, or just Irish potato as well. You can do that, or you can have some yam as well, but not too much. Because yam are very starchy. And then, yeah, you can have some like African swallows if you want. That would really, really help you. And you just need to make sure that those food are not heavy. So like not having like, so let's say for example your total carbohydrate for the day is 150 gram. By the way I calculate or try to work out the amount of carbohydrate that I eat, it depends on my energy, um, the energy output during the day. So, for example, I'm mostly seated down. I'm not working around. I'm not physically active. And even when I want to go out, I drive. So I take that into account that I'm not burning a lot of fat. And then when I work out, like my activation workouts are like 15 minutes, only my strength training days are like 30 minutes. So I'm not like super, super like active like that. So I'm like moderately active. So I do not tend to eat. So maybe on my strength training days, I do not tend to eat more than 120 like gram of carbohydrate. And I work that out using my calculator. So the way I calculate my um, the macronutrient that I eat is by calculating my total daily energy expenditure. So I do not fully follow it every day by making sure that I'm eating the right macronutrient, like to the dot or to the T. But what I tend to do is to stay within the range. So say for example, my range of protein, which is very essential, the one that I actually track almost every day, is about 100 110 gram to maybe 130 and 40 gram. So I stay within that range. Sometimes I am just 100, sometimes I'm 120, sometimes I'm 130, sometimes I'm 140 if I'm really enjoying my protein. And then for carbohydrate, it will be within the range of 60 to 120. And the way I've been able to calculate this is due to the way I use my energy on a daily basis. On days that I have used my energy so much than what I have calculated in the past, and I know that this is just an abnormal day. So say for example, I go on a outing with my family and we're walking for like 2 hours and I have worked for so long and I have done like 20 or 30,000 steps. Oh, I know that day is just different. So I will have more carbohydrate. Like literally, I might not even check how much of carbohydrate that I'm eating because I can't be carrying this scale around with me. But I just like eat as much as I feel my body needs. So it's a much of feeling. So calculating your macros and working with your macros is not so essential. It is just like a tracking information to just to make sure that your body is actually eating the right amount, especially when you want to lose some fat. For those that are skinny and do not need to lose fat, it is still essential for them to be aware of the amount of protein that they're eating. So, like for clients that join my program, in the first 2 to 3 months, what I would normally advise is that you don't worry about calculating anything. Like the calculation will come naturally as you enjoy the process. So in the first 2 to 3 months, what I would advise is that just make sure with every meal and snack there is protein in it. Okay. And then if you want to lose some fat, then have half of the carbohydrates you would normally have, unless you're physically active, like using a lot of energy, then we might work on your carbohydrates to maybe more than half. But there is always a way around it. Everything works differently for everyone, and that was one of the reasons that I do not fully do like food programs of what to eat or give you food plan, because everyone is just gonna be different. Food responds to our bodies differently. So it's something that we have to figure out together. And this is where I guide you and work out something perfect for you. Anyway, I believe I have spoken a lot about food on this video and what to eat to to support better sleep and give you stable energy. Says when it comes to food, when it comes to sleep and energy, the first thing you need to look into is your food. Once food has been sorted and you know that your body is not deprived or lacking in nutrient, then maybe you look into exercise. And exercise doesn't have to be rigid. It could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even 5 minutes every day. Your body likes consistency over intensity. It works better for it. All right, my queen. My name is Titilayo again. If you would like to join my community, click the link in the description. Bye for now.